Embarrassing. That loss was absolutely embarrassing for the Red Raiders as they lose 37-16 at Washington State. In today's video, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. We're going to rant because that was fucking awful. And if you don't like the language, I apologize in advance because there's going to be some. So that's your warning right there, because something has to change right now for Texas Tech, or this is going to be a catastrophic season for the Red Raiders out in the 806. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button for, 100% honest Texas Tech content. I'm a fan just like you guys. I'm embarrassed right now. I'm wearing this double T right now, and that was just an embarrassing performance on national television. You're on national television and you do that? There's got to be some questions answered here. But first, I want to ask you a question. Your one word to describe this Texas Tech 37-16 loss at Washington State. I've already said mine. It's embarrassing. This was putrid. In every aspect of the game, you were undisciplined. 10 penalties. What are we doing? Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. We'll talk about that in excess in today's video. But before we get too far into it, let me know down in the pinned comment below your one word to describe this Texas Tech 37-16 embarrassing loss up in Pullman. All right, let's just get straight to the stats. What the hell was that? They threw 19 times, people. 19. Their leading receiver had 54 yards. Their quarterback ran for 197 yards. I was having vivid flashbacks of Avery Johnson in the Kansas State game where he just absolutely abused you in the run game. That's what happened to you. This is a team in Washington State that threw for over 400 yards in week one, and they barely throw for 100. Why? Because, simply put, they didn't need to. They didn't need to throw the football. Instead, they ran for 301 yards on you. You heard that right. 301 yards. Deplorable, despicable effort defensively when it comes to, containing the run. And here's the thing, too. Looking at these stats from the Washington State side, I thought the defense for Texas Tech outside of, containing the QB power was decent tonight because if we're being honest, the Texas Tech offense did them no favors. I mean, this was just a disgusting display by the Texas Tech offense. By far, the worst game Zach Kittley has called as a Texas Tech Red Raider offensive coordinator. He was awful tonight in game planning, and the lack of adjustments was absolutely despicable, okay? This was one of those games where if you're a Red Raider watching this, you're embarrassed halfway through the second quarter, wondering where was the hell this team that was hyped up this offseason? Joey McGuire saying that, hey, and as I get back on the screen here, because you got to see my face for this, I'm pissed just like you guys. This team was one of the deepest that he's coached. This was a team that he was the most excited about in his 30 years of coaching. Where the fuck is that team? Let's be honest about it. Where is it? I haven't seen it. Have you? I think we know the answer to this. We haven't seen it. This has been absolutely disgusting. It is year 3. Nothing has changed. Nothing has gotten better. Right? And again, before you come at me in the sense of, they didn't have Taj Brooks, RC, you did not watch the game if you think Taj Brooks was the reason that Texas Tech lost. That's not the reason they lost. Let's get back to the stats real quick, shall we? Look at the turnovers. They had 4 of them. Technically, they had 8 because turnovers on downs. You were 1 for 5 on 4th downs. You technically had 8 turnovers tonight. Realistically, in the score sheet, it's going to only be 4, but if you're actually being real about it, you had 8. The play calling was awful on both sides of the football, specifically on defense in the run game. You had no contain for any part of the night, and when you did get contained on a run play, you might as well celebrate it like it's your birthday, and you may not know if you're going to get a next one. It was awful. This is putrid. This is not what we signed up for. And in the season where, and again, this is going to be a rant, people. I really don't care at this point if you don't like it. This was the season that was hyped up. It was supposed to be different. It's year 3 for Joey McGuire and crew out in the 806, and bumfuck has changed, right? Nothing has changed. You're deplorable on the road. You were almost embarrassed at home by ACU, a team that literally had 6 of your former players starting on offense, right? But let's transition to this week and really the whole concept of what went on in this offseason. You think about what happened this offseason. This was the most hyped offseason maybe in Texas Tech football program history. You think about the renovations, $250 million for the new south end zone in the football training facility, right? You think about it. You have arguably the most well-known athlete in the world, at least top 5. Top 10 if we're being conservative. And Patrick Mahomes invest in the Texas Tech brand more than any athlete has ever invested in their college, period. He donated $5 million, but that is literally the smallest thing he's done this offseason. He got you an Adidas deal. He got you to be a national brand, right? He has literally attached himself to this program. And what do? You shit the bed the first 2 weeks of the year. You go out and you get these wide receivers. You get better on the offensive line. And what do? The first week, you look good in the first half. In the second half, you disappeared. And in this game, you might as well not even gotten off the plane. Shit, you may as well not even got on the plane in Lubbock offensively. That's how bad you were, right? There was no adjustments, zero, right? And you put your defense in absolutely abysmal situations. And again, did they do themselves any favors in the run game? No. But if you put this loss on the defense, you and I are not watching the same football game. This is on the offense. Some very, very hard questions need to be answered because this, again, was the worst called game by Zach Kittley in his tenure as the Texas Tech offensive coordinator. Baron Morton was not good. And that's very, very nice way for me to say that because I could go further, but I won't, right? You got away from the run game. You did not use the middle of the field what felt like at all, right? And I get it. You didn't have Taj Brooks. Cameron Valdez and Cam Dickey at halftime were averaging 6 yards a carry. Why'd you get away from it, right? You shot yourself in the foot with penalties, having 10 of them. You are arguably the most undisciplined team on offense in the country. I mean, it was deplorable how bad you were on offense in terms of just the discipline. It looked like you were lost 90% of the time. You had wide receivers putting their hands up in the air like, I don't know what the play call is. The communication was not there at all. This was just an absolutely embarrassing loss. And you saw some fire from Joey McGuire on the sideline, right? Some of it. I'm just tired of the hype, man. I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of hearing them try and hype this team up. Are there talented players on this team? Yeah, you wouldn't be a D1 football player if you weren't. Right? Simple and plain. There's talented guys on this team. I think it's 100% fair to question the coaching staff, though, right now. I think it is. Every position. Line them up, question them. Right? None of them were good tonight. None of them. You couldn't stop the run defensively. Tim DeRuyter did not make an adjustment on a QB power. The same exact style of offense that Kansas State absolutely abused you with last year. Didn't make a change. On offense, sure, you lost your left tackle in Sterling Porcher. Hopefully he's okay. It looked like it was an ankle injury. And, I mean, Vinny Scurry couldn't put any weight on a leg, so hopefully he's okay. I understand you had some shuffling on the offensive line. I really do. But at the same time, I am just so tired as a Texas Tech fan hearing this hype each and every year saying what I said earlier in terms of this is the best team I've had in 30 years. This is the most bought-in team I've had in 30 years of coaching, right? This is the best this. This is the best that. Prove it. Stop talking and prove it. When are you going to coach these guys up better? When are they going to get more discipline? This is coaching now, right? You got to be better because there's a lot of questions here that need to be answered. And damn it, they need to be answered fucking quick. Because that was an absolute atrocity and an embarrassment to what this program is supposed to be. And I get it. There will be some people in here. Oh, well, Texas Tech hasn't really done much in the past decade. They haven't had this kind of investment in this program. Again, $250 million. You have the star of the NFL backing up your program. And what do you do the first 2 weeks? Almost lose in historic fashion. I get it's a win, but it came down to a 2-point conversion in overtime to beat a team that was picked to finish 7th in an FCS conference. You go up to Washington State, Granted, it was their premier game on their schedule. This is the only Power 5 team coming up to Pullman. You think you would be prepared. You know they're going to be prepared. You should have them disciplined and ready to go. Fuck no. None of it. Serious questions need to be answered. Serious adjustments need to be made because this could get ugly fast if it isn't already there. And I don't know about you, but as a Texas Tech fan, I am just sick and tired of the salesmanship. Do something on the field, right? Make us believe with something actually on the gridiron. Because right now, I don't blame Texas Tech fans for being discouraged. I don't blame them for going out and saying hashtag fire whoever's last name you put back there. That's part of being a fan, right? And the fans are sick and tired of it. Something's got to change, and goddamn it has to happen right now. All right. Enough with my rant. One word to describe this Texas Tech 37-16 loss at Washington State. Absolute fucking embarrassment, man. Just tired of it. Got to be better. Simple and plain. Take some credibility here. Players and coaches alike. You have to be better. This is embarrassing. Period. It's period, man. All right. If you want 100% free Texas Tech content and 100% authentic Texas Tech content each and every day, there's 3 simple steps to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech football and Texas Tech men's basketball. Simply like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. And if you can't tell, I'm right there with you, Red Raider Nation. I'm pissed, I'm embarrassed, and everything in between. Something has to change quickly for Texas Tech football, and if it doesn't, some changes are going to have to be made, and some difficult decisions are going to have to be had. Catch y'all next time.